Hello, my name is Hasan Sorrells, and this is the Leadership Lessons from the Great Books podcast, Shorts. There's no co-host on these Shorts episodes. These are now around 6 to 8 minute long observations, ideas, thoughts, or rants about the literature, philosophy, psychology, and even the theology of leadership. Because listening to me talk about leadership for now around 6 to 8 minutes is still better than reading and trying to understand yet another business book. Even that business book that has been sitting in your Amazon queue that you just haven't been able to bring yourself to purchase for around the last 6 months. This one's an oldie but a goodie for today. There are two things to remember about conventional wisdom. The first thing to remember is that conventional wisdom is exactly that, conventional, meaning that it's the combination of the perceived wisdom of the crowds, held tightly, based in a cascade of life experiences, in accordance with what is generally done or believed. Conventional means standardized. Conventional means comfortable. Conventional means not to be questioned. The second thing to remember about conventional wisdom is that it isn't really wisdom, meaning that the wisdom of the conventional variety is typically based in theory and belief, usually held at the individual level, rather than good judgment, principles, or any species of scholarship, lore, or even sophistication. Conventional wisdom only works when it produces actionable results, and when it doesn't work, people who formerly relied upon its benefits as a shortcut or a heuristic to not engaging, thinking, or developing other ways of looking at the world or solving problems are often confused and irritated. There's no simple way out of the trap conventional wisdom creates for individuals, but here are a few ideas. One of the simplest ways to overcome the thinking around conventional wisdom and the thinking that makes up conventional wisdom is to realize that common sense is no longer commonly held. With the fragmentation of American culture in particular, and global culture overall, the power that commonly held sense used to hold is now dissipating. The other thing to recall is that defaulting to conventional wisdom gives people in power, or people in authority, or people in a higher hierarchical position, a leg up over you as a leader and your particular situation and needs. When they are operating within the confines of decorum, manners, and other conventionally held wisdom tropes, they can't move as quickly to be creative, thought-provoking, or to generate new wisdom based in changing culture, changing mores, or just the changing winds of, change. Wisdom, just like courage, is always in short supply. Wisdom can't be downloaded or Googled. It must be lived. And separating wisdom from the confines of conventionality allows the parties with that wisdom to be more cautious when responding to change, but it also allows those with wisdom to be more impactful and actually have a vision when change finally shows up. Conventional wisdom is often based in laziness of thinking and a lack of imagination and curiosity rather than any species of the aforementioned patience. Patience often is the province of the unconventional. Conventional wisdom is the province of the crowds, and the crowds have been wrong before. And the crowds, they will be wrong again. As surely as the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. And that's it for me. Thank you for listening and subscribing to the Leadership Lessons from the Great Books podcast. If you're listening to this on any of the major podcast players, like iTunes, Google Podcasts, or Spotify, please go ahead and leave us a 5-star review and write a little bit in there. A couple of sentences is good enough. That actually helps us game those algorithms that I was just maybe addressing. And, of course, it helps us grow the show. Tell all your family, tell all your friends, and tell the leaders in your life that you know that need to be listening to this show that this show exists. By the way, if you want to get started on the leadership path yourself, or you know some people who need to go on the leadership path, HSCT Publishing, the home company of Leadership Toolbox and Leadership Lessons from the Great Books podcast, can help you and your team do that. So check out our training webinars, coaching services, and more at leadershiptoolbox.us. We are remote, we're live, we're in person, we're on video, and we've got leadership development solutions for your civic group, nonprofit staff, public sector staff, or even your private sector leaders. And of course, you're going to want to check out our video-based subscription service at leadingkeys.com. That's leadingkeys.com for leadership development on demand. You don't like videos, you don't like training, but you really like the podcast? Well, I would also recommend reading a book. Matter of fact, I'd recommend reading my most recent book, 12 Rules for Leaders, The Foundation of Intentional Leadership. You can get that in paperback, hardcover, or as an ebook on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kobo, Ingram Spark, and any other place that you order books online. Finally, of course, we're on YouTube just like everybody else is. We'd love to have you help us grow the YouTube channel, so like and subscribe to the video version of this podcast on the HSCT Publishing channel on YouTube. Just search for HSCT Publishing, or you can search for Leadership Toolbox and hit the subscribe button. Subscribing helps us grow the show, as it does with the audio, just is the same with the video. All right, that's it for me.